again, like I say, this is all because these people in Washington are gonna play games with this blame you, and I blame you, and then you blame me, and then we blame him, and they keep going round robin, right? They pick, if you notice, there's always one, even with the Democrats, it's Joe Manchin. Then if it's not Joe Manchin, it's Nancy Pelosi. Then if it's not Pelosi, it's Chuck Schumer. And if it's not Schumer, it's another one of them, Chris Coons or some damn body, right? They always play this Russian roulette. You can never really know who to place the blame on at any given moment and pin them down because they all take turns with the So as soon as you get one of your crosshairs and you ranting and raving about Nancy Pelosi, then Chuck Schumer go do some dumb in the Senate. Then you get on Chuck Schumer and you got your eyes on him and you ready to start a campaign against him. And then you got Joe Manchin outdoes him and he does some dumb. And it's the same thing on the Republican side, right? But in this instance, it's all the goddamn Republicans because not one of those pieces of unholy creatures decided to vote for the bill, which put this whole thing in jeopardy in the first place. Now, the other thing I got on the Democratic side with Democrats, why I critique them is because, dumbass, if you could do something to put some type of protection in place, why the hell didn't you do that from the beginning, right? This Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, if I could talk to you right now, I would say if you're going to do if you're on the Senate Finance Committee and say that you're going to file some type of legislation to help protect and ensure that everybody get their stimulus checks, why wouldn't you do that before the checks go out, bro? What these people, I tell you, these people, man, are not bright. They are not. I mean, I am just a regular dude trying to give people the news, trying to help my people stay informed. And I believe that I'm probably smarter than 80% of these people, man. These people are not bright and not smart at all. Why wouldn't you put that legislation to protect people from people coming to rob them and take their damn money? Why wouldn't you have put that in there from the gate? Like I say, if you owe any type of hospital bills or you owe any type of credit card debt or you owe any type of personal bills, creditors can come seize your money. So if anybody in here winds up not getting their check, let me know. If you come to this live stream tomorrow, I'm going to do another story that I'm working on to figure out how you can try to protect yourself if you didn't get your check yet. Matter of fact, this is in the description. But on this last note is that everybody who want to blame the Democrats on the Republican side, I'm talking about regular people. And all the Democrats that want to blame the Republicans on the Democratic side, listen, man, at the end of the day, you can blame me and I could blame you, but they gonna continue to keep screwing us, right? You blaming me and me blaming you ain't gonna put no checks in the bank. So if you are a Republican, the one thing you should be able to take away from this, if you support Republicans, is just know that your party that you support, especially if you're struggling, if you are middle class or you're poor, if you don't own Amazon, just know that the people that you are supporting, the politicians that you are supporting, not one of them voted for this bill. They didn't vote for the bill for the PPE loans for small businesses. That's in there. They didn't $23 billion, I think, for schools or somewhere up in that range for school support to try to get schools back open so people can actually send their kids to school, so people can actually get back to work, because people can't go to work if your kids can't go to school, right? For all the people who had to lay out of work and who kids are home right now, right? So this is one of the major reasons why people need to get, we talking about how we're going to get kids back in school and in daycare and different places like that, because people got to live that, people got to work, man, especially when the government ain't giving you none, and then when they do give you something, they leave you open for people to take it from your ass, right? So not one, if you're on the Republican side, you can call your senators and your congressmen and women, right? You can just Google the numbers to whoever your representative is in whatever state you stay in, and you can leave them messages on their answering machines, or maybe you can talk to somebody and tell them what you need to tell them, right? You could probably also do some type of video and let them know how this is affecting you, or you can organize protests and try to organize or find somebody who's organizing something and protest and put pressure on, if you're a Republican, right? Until we can get a third party. But a lot of Republicans ain't gonna get a third party because they stuck on damn stupid. But if you stuck on stupid, just know that these people, not one of them voted for this. And then if you're a Democrat on the Democratic side, just know that they all cut this in half to what they actually were supposed to do. They didn't need the Republican help because they passed it anyway. So they got the majority. They got full majority in the damn government right now. So they didn't need the Republicans, and none of the Republicans voted for the anyway. And the Democrats chose to not protect the checks, to not give you the $2,000 and give us the $1,400. They chose to not do the $15 minimum wage. They chose to not give us no health care during the pandemic. They're choosing this. If you're a Democrat, you can't, if you're on the Democratic side, you can't say to a Republican. You have no leg to stand on. You can't blame a Republican. It's like, oh, you can't do that because your team controls every goddamn thing. That's why I said if you're going to do anyway, without no support from the Republicans, you might as well just went for the gusto and did the if you're going to do something, do it right. Especially because you only got a limited amount of times that you can actually do this without the Republicans. And when the Republicans had power, they did whatever they wanted all the goddamn time, right? The Republicans at one point had the Senate, the House, and the presidency. And guess what? They gave billions of dollars away to rich people in tax breaks. They lowered all the taxes so rich people can hide their money and keep most of their money. And of course, when it's time to come take from your ass and my ass, they'll send you to jail if you don't give Uncle Sam his money. But they do everything in their power to make sure the some that got $800 billion don't have to pay. Right, so when they had the majority, they gave all the tax breaks to the wealthy. That's what Republicans do. They always talk about the debt and deficit, then they cut all the rich people taxes, so they don't have to pay no taxes. So we can never pay down the debt and deficit. Then they can always blame that on why they can't do nothing for people like you and me. That's the Republicans' MO, right? They'll give all the tax breaks to the wealthy. Then because the wealthy can evade paying taxes, they can never really pay down the debt and deficit. And then because they can't pay down the debt and deficit because they gave the tax break, they'll use that as an excuse why your kids can't have free schooling even though all the other rich nations in the world provide it. Why your kids and you can't have free health care even though all the other rich nations in the world provide it. Why you and your kids can't have a living wage even though almost all the other nations in the world provide it. They use it as an excuse. They don't never say that, oh, we can't pay down the debt and deficit because we gave all the money away to our buddies. And the fact that every last Republican senator in the House of Representatives, every last Republican senator is a millionaire. There's not one of them that's not a millionaire. And they're not a millionaire because senators are millionaires, because their salary is only a couple $100,000 a year. So they're not millionaires because, all senators are millionaires, because no, they're not millionaires because of their government check. They're millionaires because of the corruption, Republican corruption, the bribery, and all the money they steal from you and me. That's why all the Republican senators are millionaires on the Republican side. And on the Democrat side, it's the same goddamn thing. Just flip the coin, two heads on both sides. They're all millionaires. And they're not millionaires because that bullshitting congressional salary they get, that government salary they get, that's not what makes them the millionaires, right? They get a modest if they just was going by their government salary. But of course, they're going to do the insider trading. They're going to rig the stock market. They're going to rob and rape and pillage every crumb they can. They're going to lower the taxes on the damn richest people in the world to make sure they don't have to pay the taxes. At the same time, raising the taxes and then making Republican voters believe that it's okay. Like when they say they're giving tax cuts, they're not giving tax cuts to your ass, right? If you getting a Social Security check or you on some type of government assistance or you got a $10, $11, $12 hour job. So everybody just need to wake up. So this had got me hot.